All right, fellas, how's it going? Good evening. Welcome. Go to flip on your cameras for me. Good to see everybody today. Everyone doing good?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for jumping in. Here's what I want you to do to start. So just drop in the chat real quick. One win from the week. So you don't have to share, you don't have to turn up, you don't have to say anything out loud, but just drop in the chat, one win from the week, and I'll read them out. I mean, I'll start. The Huskers are 3-0, so that's a win. I don't know about you guys. We got a short work week this week. Pretty fired up about it. One win from the week. Cam off speed is more consistent so far, so you've been starting to do like grip catch, I'm guessing, in your throwing program.
Yeah.
Cool. How's the arm feel?
Good.
Does it feel good to actually start throwing again?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming for you, I feel like. I guess you've been going for this is your second week, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Houston, first throwing day today. Felt good?
Yeah, felt pretty
All
good.
right, that's good. Charlie, Chiefs won, had fun tournament in Kansas City. How's the arm feel today?
A little better. Still
A little,
hurts
okay.
though.
Yeah. What I would do, like I said, is just take today off and take tomorrow off from throwing, and then play some light toss on Wednesday to see how it feels. All right.
Okay. Yep.
And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you stay on here at the end, and I'm gonna show you a few things that you can do. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay. Merrick's shoulder has been feeling good. Stretches have helped. Awesome. Anyone else got anything? Cole, what do you got? Grayson just jumped in. So Grayson's from Papio South. Grayson, I need you to share your favorite ice cream. Everyone shared their favorite ice cream last week. Gee, are you there?
Yeah. My favorite ice cream is probably cake batter.
Ooh, cake batter. Okay. Love it. All right. So good to see everyone. Glad you guys are here. The plan for today is to talk about the ultimate. Cole did all of his workouts. Awesome. Okay, the ultimate performance enhancer. So been having some people talk about just here I'm just gonna jump in with it. Let's just do that. So the ultimate free performance enhancer is sleep. Okay, so we're gonna talk a little bit about sleep today. Now, I think you guys all know how important sleep is, but what I want to do is just like really make it clear how important sleep is and how important it's going to be for you this off season in terms of making gains. Um, so let's get this bad boy rolling here. Slideshow. Okay, everyone can see it all right, correct? Yep. Okay. So just going to give you a second to look through that. Say, why should we prioritize sleep? All right. So this chart here on the left is looking at NBA players when they got 8 hours or over 8 hours versus when they got less than 8 hours. And so over 8 hours, 29% increase in points per minute, 12% increase in minutes played, 9% increase in free throw percentage, 2% increase in 3-point percentage. And then when less than 8 hours, also a 45% decrease in fouls committed, and then a huge decrease in turnovers. So sleep has a huge impact on performance, has a huge impact on cognitive function, it has a huge impact on mental performance. And so a lot of these things relate to baseball as well. All right. So if things are like command isn't working, mechanical changes aren't sticking, um, strength isn't sticking. Sometimes it can be related to sleep. Okay, same as sports injuries. So this chart is looking at sleep loss and sports injury. So as you can see, as sleep goes up, so 6 hours, the chances of injury over 70%. compared to 9 hours where chances of injury are under 20%. Okay, so not saying that like if you don't sleep you're going to get hurt, but you can see here that your percent chance of injury is definitely increased. Okay, so more things. There's a lot of text here. I'm just going to kind of knock out each one. So Stanford study, when athletes increased sleep from 8 hours to 10 hours per night, 100-meter dash times went down 0.7 of a second on average. So think of that. It's almost half a second. Okay, think about if you cut down half a second on, well, maybe not. I guess you're never doing like a 100-meter dash in baseball, but if you cut down on percentage of, or if you cut down on time, just like running the bases, how many more times you would be safe, right? Basketball players increase free throw percentage by 9%. So you could think of free throws as like your command on the mound too, right? So all of these things are impacted by sleep. Muscle memory, I think this one's a really important one, especially as we're making mechanical changes at this time in the off season. Muscle memory is ingrained specifically during hours 7 to 9 of sleep. So I think we've all been there. I know I've been there where you learn something new, really in any sport, but like let's say you make a mechanical change and things feel really good, or you change something with a grip or something and things feel great, and then the next day it's completely gone. Sometimes that can be a lack of sleep. So that muscle memory that's ingrained from short term to long term occurs from hours 7 to 9. So if you aren't getting to that point in sleep, then you're not ingraining that actually into your long-term memory. You're not making those lasting mechanical changes. Does that make sense? So that's why sleep is so important. Sleep reduces inflammation, stimulates muscle repair, restores energy levels, and improves learning. So, you know, as we're lifting, as we're throwing, as we're starting to really increase our workload a lot, okay, sleep will have a huge impact on your ability to recover. And then also, I think the learning thing is super undervalued in terms of when you are making mechanical changes, you are learning. Your brain and body are learning new movements. And so if you're not ingraining that new learning, then you're just making things take longer. So mechanical changes can take longer. Learning new pitches can take longer. So sleep is super important. All this information is coming from a book that I read called Why We Sleep. And, you know, these are they mentioned all these guys as sleeping 10 to 12 hours per night, right? And so there's a reason that they are the best in the world, right? They take care of everything, and sleep is one of them. More sleep studies. So studies on sleep deprivation, less than 7 hours a night, show the following effects. So cardiovascular fitness goes down, decrease in vertical jump height, decrease in muscle strength, increases in lactic acid buildup, decrease in the body's ability to cool itself, and then severe increase in injury risk. So I don't think I need to really say much more about how important sleep is and how it's such a performance enhancer and like a hack, a cheat code basically for making improvements. So, I mean, decrease in vertical jump height, that's less power, decrease in strength, all those things are impacting velocity, right? If your muscles are more fatigued and they're not recovered as well, you're more likely to get injured, right? So all of these things are connected. So here's where the rubber meets the road. This is something that I want you to, like, if you're on your phone, just take a screenshot of it or take a picture of it. You can see everything. So for you guys, 8 to 10 hours, right? So we talked about time management last week. One reason why time management is so important is that way you can get to this, right? 8 to 10 hours of sleep per night. That way you get that long-term learning that you're getting from your drill work, from pitch design, that sort of thing. Okay, stick to a sleep schedule as much as possible. People don't adjust to changes in sleep patterns well, and sleeping in on the weekends will not fully make up for a lack of sleep. So a lot of times, and I'm definitely fell victim to this when I was your age, where I would just burn the midnight oil and then try and catch up on the weekend. It doesn't necessarily work that way. Now I know that there's some things that are out of your control, and it's not always easy to go to bed on the weekend, but you want to try and keep that as consistent as possible. Okay, avoiding caffeine is a big one. So especially for people your age, for young athletes, you guys like taking your pre-workout before a game, like a 6 o'clock game, right? And caffeine, the half-life of caffeine takes about 8 hours to fully wear off. And so one of the reasons why you might be struggling to sleep at night is because you're pounding pre-workout before a 6 o'clock game or a 7 o'clock game, and then all of that still is running through your system 8 hours later, right? If you take it at 6, now that's 2 a.m. before the caffeine's out of your system. Okay. And so that can have a big impact on your ability to sleep. It can have a huge impact on recovery. So if you're playing that late game, right, you're breaking down muscle tissue, maybe you pitched, and now you're in trouble because you're not falling asleep till 2, and then you're not getting that 7 to 9 hours of sleep that you need in order to recover, and then also maintain increase that long-term learning that we're trying to optimize. Okay, so keep your naps at 20 to 30 minutes before taking them after 3 p.m. Okay, I think this is a huge one for you guys too. So caffeine is the big one for me, and then this bullet point, which is relax and unwind before bed to help you fall asleep better. So one reason why I mentioned like doing mobility before bed is it helps you kind of relax. It relax your central nervous system. It cools you down, right? It gets you like, it just activates kind of the I want to say it's the parasympathetic nervous system. I can't remember which one, but it basically helps you relax, right? And looking at screens, especially blue light, which is in your screen, TV, computer, cell phone, it actually activates your brain and makes it hard to fall asleep. So that blue light is what gets your brain thinking, oh, it's morning time or it's daytime. I need to stay awake and stay active. Screws up your schedule, makes it hard to fall asleep. So I try to turn off the screens, and this is hard for me too, but turn off the screens a half an hour before bed, read something, stretch, kind of have some sort of routine that gets you away from that blue light so your brain starts to know, hey, it's nighttime, we need to shut her down. These ones are more of like bedroom environment, so keep your room dark and cool. Okay, 68 degrees is like optimal. You can keep your house at 68 degrees or your room at 68 degrees, that's ideal. And then take a hot shower. That helps cool down your body temp, so that way your body wants to fall asleep better. And then if you can't sleep, don't lie in bed. Okay, that's the worst. I do that. That happens to me from time to time. If you're in a hard time falling asleep, all you do is just think about how you need to sleep, and that just makes it worse. So flip on the light, read a book, go stretch some more, foam roll. All those things can help you kind of relax and calm down. I know I listen to meditations a lot if I'm struggling to fall asleep, my brain's going. But just lying there in bed can actually make things worse. So those are big things for me. Like I said, I think the caffeine for guys your age, and then the screens before bed are the two big ones where if we can really minimize these, we'll fall asleep faster, we'll sleep longer. And remember, it's not so much like, I mean, the big one for me is just learning, right? We're trying to optimize recovery, and we're trying to get our brain to commit some of these new movements, these mechanical changes to long-term memory. And that doesn't happen until you get to hours 7 to 9 of sleep. And so if you want to speed up your development this off season, taking care of your sleep is such a huge, huge thing. Okay. And that's why I wanted to just spend a little time talking about it. It's such a cheat code. Okay. And I can't emphasize it enough. Okay. So that is really all that I have. I just wanted to like take a little time to talk about it. Here's what I want you to do. In the chat, just drop in like one big takeaway for you, or one thing that you're gonna like, one thing you were going to try and implement, or one big takeaway from you, or maybe one thing that surprised you about sleep. Maybe you've heard all of it, but one takeaway or one big surprise from that little spiel. I think the biggest one for me while you guys are typing that out is how like your long-term learning occurs from hours 7 to 9. And if you don't actually get there, then you're just making it harder on yourself to make long-term changes when it comes to learning. And so that's kind of a big one for me anyway. But hopefully that gives you a couple of takeaways. Any questions for me? kind of a quick one. A lot of things you guys have already heard. Okay. In terms of your programs, everyone should be pretty locked and loaded, ready to go. So a lot of you are either, I mean, Charlie, I know you're in fall ball, but everyone else should be on some sort of on-ramp program. And then next week, what we'll do is we'll talk about kind of what the in-person sessions will look like, because those will start in October. And so I'll kind of lay out just how you sign up for things, how you like know when to come in, and just what that process will look like. So we're all educated on it. Does that sound good? Okay. If you guys don't have any questions, then you are good to go. But I do want to have Charlie stick around, and then Grace and Hal, if you stick around, and we'll talk about a few things. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
You bet. Have a
Yep.
good night. Okay, so Charlie, for your elbow, do you have a baseball bat on you?
Yeah.
Okay, go grab it. Okay, so hold it at the handle. Okay, so one time in the morning and then one time at night, I want you to do 25 circles. So just hold it out front and just do like little circles, and like with the barrel. So like the barrel, I don't have a bat with me. So just hold the bottom and then rotate it. So you rotate the top of the barrel with little, yep, just like that. 25
Okay.
each direction.
Okay.
Okay, and then go back and forth like you're hammering a nail, 25 each direction.
Okay.
Okay, and then supinate and pronate, 25 each direction.
Okay.
Okay, and all we're doing with that is we are just promoting blood flow to our arm and to our forearm, which will, the more blood you can get going to it, the more it'll clear out the inflammation and the old and the nasty stuff, and then get new blood in, which will promote recovery.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's why I don't necessarily like icing, because when you ice, you're actually like preventing blood flow.
Yeah.
And preventing blood flow is actually not good necessarily. There's certain cases where it is, but I don't know if in your case, it's what we want. So we actually want to promote blood flow. So just 25 each direction, hammers, and then pronation, supination. I think will get you in a good spot, and at least get the blood flowing to just kind of, I'm not saying it's like going to fix it by any
Yeah.
means, but it should get the blood flowing to it a little bit for it. So it should speed up some recovery for you. Otherwise, I mean, it sounds like you were throwing hard and it sounds like things were pretty smooth, which is kind of annoying, but any questions for me?
No, just really weird. Like came out of nowhere.
You're right. Well, luckily the season's almost over and you can take a little time off, and who knows, maybe you shut down pitching for the next, for the rest of the fall, and then just try and get your arm right, because I mean, you've thrown plenty, so right, not the end of the world. So yep, give that a try, and then let me know kind of how things are going.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, you're good to go.
All right, thank you.
You bet.